short.
That's Cherie's one.
You can raise it up. There we go. Good morning. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Steve Fowler. Right on. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Oh, good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley.
Morning.
How are we on this holiday weekend? Yeah, ready for the official start of summer?
Yes.
Well, we're going to kick off summer with a little event of our own, and I'm going to bring Lena up here to talk with me about it. Lena, come on up and talk. Let's talk about high tea. So tell me, where did this idea high tea come from anyway, for you?
Well, my daughter-in-law took me for my birthday, and I thought, well, a high tea, well, that's going to be too much. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. And then she took Bob and I for my Mother's Day a year ago, and my grandson went and my son went. So it's not just a woman's thing; it's just a thing, you know, where you go and you have like little sandwiches, and you have scones, and then you have all these little goody 2-bite things on the top that are like little quiches and little. Well, I'm not going to tell you because it's a surprise.
Oh, a surprise.
That's right.
Will my diet be okay with the surprise?
Absolutely.
Because it's just 2 bites.
2 bites. Two
Yeah.
bites.
So
2
I
bites
can-
of everything.
So I can eat
It's
as much as I want because it's only
it's
2
not
bites.
it's not a supper.
It's not a supper.
No.
So don't come hungry?
Oh, well, I'd come hungry, but I don't think you'll leave too hungry, but maybe a little bit hungry a while.
All right, so we get to come to high tea, have a lovely tea, and then we all get to go out to lunch together.
I don't think you'll want to go to lunch.
When is this going to happen?
This is going to happen next Saturday at 4 o'clock, and it's going to be in the classroom,
Which we're going to call the tea room from
which
now
we're
on.
going to
right?
call the tea room for next Saturday.
Okay, all right. How many people can come?
Well, I have a few more openings because a lot of people are going out of town or have vacations or weddings or something. So anyway, there are a few more openings. So, and this is a real advantage because it's $20, and usually a high tea is $35.
Oh, so it's a bargain.
So it's a bargain.
Oh.
It's a steal.
I want one.
I love it. Should we get?
And you can dress up with the hats and the gloves and the whole shebang, or you can come in your jeans and a T-shirt because this is Southern California.
I love it. I love it. Okay, high tea next Saturday, 4 o'clock in the tea room, the classroom, and come however you want to. $20, reserve your spot. You can go online and go to the website and pick out your ticket right there. Or you can see Darlene. There's Darlene, Dancing Darlene, after the service, and she can also help you with your ticket.
Okay, and I'll know, but how many are coming by 4 o'clock, Troy? By Wednesday?
Oh, so you know how many
So I know
two-bite
how many
sandwiches
to-
to make.
So I know how many sandwiches to make.
Okay. All right.
how many
I'm
children?
coming, so you could make at least 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Bite size, remember.
15 then.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Lena. Beautiful. So that's kind of how we put our vision, our mission statement into action. We do things like the tea, we do things like the sound bath, we do all kinds of stuff. We give money away because we are a vibrant community that believes in these principles and follows this mission. Let's do it together. We're a community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do, is start off with a nice prayer from Elaine Ocasio, our practitioner of the day.
Good morning. So, we do a little prayer, a group prayer before, like for the service team before, and I did a prayer on joy. And then my meditation, I thought, that's still with me. I think I'm going to do joy. So I was thinking of a prayer for now. I'm going, I'm stuck on joy. And isn't that a good thing to be stuck on? And then I thought, well, maybe it's not stuck. Maybe it stayed on joy, right? Right? That song inspired me. So next time you feel stuck on something, know that you can change it and be stuck on joy instead. Take a deep conscious breath as a joyful community, and know the truth that there is only one divine mind, one divine love, one divine heart, and we are all individuated expressions of this divine. We are the expression of divine love. We are the expression of divine joy. The divine takes such joy in our expression of ourselves as it. And as this community is an expression of divine joy in our fellowship, in our sharing of our expansion in knowing the truth. I am so grateful to this community for this teaching, for the Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. I release this word into the law, knowing it is already so, and so it is.
Join us for our congregational song.
Oh hello, hello. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. It looks like our director and captain is not feeling well, and that's Miss Cindy Joy. So let's all send positive energy to her so that she can heal real quick. So I'm stepping in. I'm Miss Angel, and also Mrs. Tracy C. is going to be my co-pilot, my co-captain. And today's theme, if you want to have a friend, you have to be a friend.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope everyone who wants to come joins us for the Cosmic Kids. It's starting now. Thank you.
You got it.
Blast off! So now is the time. Now is the time for our affirmation. I'll read it once and then we'll say it together. The words I use light up the creative power of spirit, bringing to life the intentions of my heart, mind, and soul. Together. The words I use light up the creative power of spirit, bringing to life the intentions of my heart, mind, and soul. So, in looking for my reading today, I had a couple of choices, and then I stumbled upon the trusty, ever-trusty 365 Science of Mind, which is the words of Ernest Holmes. And I was looking for something that said something about the power of your word, and I found that plus more, and it happens to be the reading for today anyway. Isn't that how it was meant to be? And I always choose this because if you've been here with me on Wednesday for the series I'm doing on Emma Curtis Hopkins, what I try to do is teach what she taught and then show how it influenced Ernest Holmes. And this is from Ernest Holmes, and it's pretty directly everything we've been learning about Emma. So it's directly his teaching from her. I know that the power of good is an underlying principle of the universe, and that it is a manifestation of God. I know that God is all good. I know that good underlies all manifestations of thought and form because good is harmony, complete balance. Good is at the root of all manifestation, regardless of its seeming absence. I know that this good is the basic principle of my existence. That which I am is good, and I know that good is the law of my being. It is the vital living force that supports my every thought and deed that are in harmony with it. There is no other power, for God is good and there cannot be God and something else. God is in all, God is all, and God is good. I know there is nothing in me that could possibly obstruct or withhold the divine circuit of life and love, which good is. My word dissolves every negative thought or impulse that could throw a shadow over my perfection. Good flows through me to all. Good shines through my thoughts and actions. Good harmonizes my body so that it is revitalized and manifests perfection in every cell, in every organ, in every function. Good harmonizes my mind so that love sings joyously in my heart, and I am completely conscious of all good in me, around me, and in all that is. I am in complete unity with my good. And so it is.
Okay, kids.
It's too tall. Thank you so much. So this morning we have Dave Watkins, and you know Dave Watkins, he's been here before, but he's usually here to sub for me. And then there started to be a rumor going around that we might be the same person. So
She's my hippie sister. So.
yeah, we both had hip replacements right here. Anyway, so to put an end to that rumor, we're in the same room. Dave Watkins.
With the real Dave Watkins. That's right. So thanks for having me. Good morning, Reverend Stephen. How you doing, buddy? And it's nice to be here on this Memorial Weekend where we honor our folks in armed services past and present. And I want to introduce the Randy Jones Band. We have Bob Townley on bass, Randy Jones on drum, Steve Fowler on guitar, Lane Taylor on vocals, and Cherie Deeds on vocals. Okay, now this is Catch a Falling Star, and you guys got to sing with me, okay? Here we go. Here we go. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Okay, let's all sing together. And catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. For love may come and tap you on the shoulder some starry night. And just in case you feel you want to save it, you'll have a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Catch a falling star. Catch a falling star. Save it for a rainy day. For love may come and tap you on the shoulder some starry night. And just in case you feel you want to save it, you'll have a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star. Catch a falling star. Catch a falling star. Save it for a rainy day. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. One more time. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. All right. The band. Thank you.
Time for our gap meditation, where we pause and go into the God awareness place within us. It'll be for 3 minutes, and Dave will time us and play us out. And so we begin. Thank you, Dave. And thank you all for sharing those powerful 3 minutes. And I invite you to create your own meditation practice at home. I believe in this teaching. It's essential to still your mind so that you understand what your thinking is so that you're able to change it to better your lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Dave's got another one.
Okie doke. Okay, folks. We're going to do a little Bob Dylan today, okay? And this song is called Times Are A-Changin', and I think he wrote it about artificial intelligence. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. Okay. Come gather around people wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown. Accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changing. Come writers and critics who prophesize with pen, don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming, for the loser now might be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Come mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and daughters are beyond your command. Yes, they are. Your old world is rapidly changing. Please get out of the new one if you can lend a hand, for the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing. For the times they are a-changing. One more time. For the times they are a-changing.
All right. Mr. Watkins, thank you, thank you. Backup singer's working it. The L's are in charge today. I'm loving it. Oh, my goodness, yes, and they are. Right? Times are changing. And how do you want them to change? You want a bolt of change or just a little itty-bitty change? Because that's it. Lightning or lightning bug. That's today. And it's sponsored by Mark Twain. But, you know, we've been this month, we started out splunkering, exploring our spiritual powers. What are those powers? And looking at what that was all about. Imagination, creativity. We're really fortunate as human beings. We can imagine, we can create, we can think of things and think of the future and then work toward that future. Then we went into Mother's Day and we talked about love. That deep, wonderful feeling and knowing that we have the ability to feel and express love in wonderful ways. Then we talked about thoughts, possibilities, ideas. And today, it's words, the things that describe those thoughts and ideas. And the talk title is from my favorite quote, my favorite Mark Twain quote. The difference between the right word And the almost right word is the difference between lightning and a lightning bug. So what do you want for your life? Do you want the lightning bolt or do you want the bug, right? Do you want to have an exciting life or just have a little blip of experience? That's what we get to do as we walk through this journey. And what I love most about the quote, not so much the lightning bug thing, which is kind of fascinating, and also, like, okay, how many of us came from parts of the country where they were called fireflies? Right, same thing, fireflies, lightning bugs. But here's the deal. Whether it's a lightning bug or a firefly, our choice is to have the big experience of life or just to be on a little blip on the radar screen. I think that all the wisdom teachers, all the ancient folks that were talking about how to live our lives, that book that people swear to live by, that manual for living called the Bible, it wants us to have good. As Elaine was talking about, Emma Curtis Hopkins talks about, if there's good enough, it's good enough for me. You should take the good and make it part of your experience. And how we describe that experience and the words we use to describe that experience takes us on the journey to having that. You know, George O'Keeffe says that rivers and roads lead us on. And words are the roads that our ideas travel on. They're the rivers that our thoughts float upon into that infinite sea of creativity that brings our experiences into happening for us. It's Spirit's highway, the words they are. And the law, which makes things happen, that's the byways that our ideas float upon. Now, to make this happen, we have to have a greater bit of consciousness. We have to have a stronger understanding that we are united with this power. It's so hard to come to believe that sometimes. As we look at the experience, we look at the conditions of our life, we think, really? Am I really in charge of all of that? You are in charge of reactions to all of that. You're in charge of how you respond to all of that. And when you respond from an understanding that we are one with this divine power, there's an infinite power in us. You know, I sat with a friend this week who was shifting their religious beliefs and getting more into the teachings of Jesus. And I said, this is really great. I love that too. He says, you guys don't do the Jesus thing. I said, that's all we do. We do that. Jesus said, the Father and I are one. He recognized with such knowing, with such feeling, with such love, that his imagination was tied to this infinite presence. And as he was one with that idea, he received a power. And that power manifested in what some call miracles that happened in his life. Healing, bringing back sight, feeding masses of people, raising people from the experience of death. These things happened because his belief was so secure. When we have that kind of belief that we are one with this divine presence, when we have that kind of belief that God and I are one, not an intellectual idea, I'm talking about a feeling. This is why we talked about love first. This is why we talked about imagination, creativity. When we have a feeling, and then we describe that feeling with powerful words, powerful things begin to happen in our lives. This is what Dr. Holmes teaches us. In fact, I was reading a lovely book called God's Fool. It's the story of Ing and Chang, the twins, the first Siamese twins. They had like 8 children. They lived their whole life together. That was an interesting thing. This week at our house and next week at her house. And, my wife's going to not be there. But, wow. Incredible book. It's an incredible book. But one of the things they talked about in that book is this, that words are like signposts on the frontier of meaning that simply mark the limits of their domain. The words mark the limits of their domain. Each word has a power, has a field of opportunity, a field of description, of prescription that is the definitive idea behind that word. Right? And it's the frontier of the meaning. It's the frontier that takes us off into that new territory. And all the words we use have such importance because of that ability. They are that signpost pointing the way that Spirit will take us to travel. We get to decide this. We get to decide, do I want a lightning bolt of experience or I just want a little bit of bug? Do I want the bolt or the bug? And part of it begins with really examining how we think and what we do. A physicist When a physicist has an experiment, they check and they recheck and they check and they recheck. They do the experiment over and over again. They pull away. What they're doing is they're being meticulous in their work. They're eliminating the extraneous things that could get in the way of the hypothesis being proven to be true. When we have an idea and then we set forth an affirmation, that becomes our hypothesis. And then we begin to strip away the extraneous things, like, I am prosperous. The extraneous thing is, but your bank account doesn't say that. The extraneous thing is, I really wish I was making more money at work. But the hypothesis is that I am prosperous. So then we have to go and we have to remove the extraneous. We have to enhance our possibilities for success by recognizing that my prosperity is related to my creativity. My prosperity is related to my imagination. I have great imagination. I have great creativity. Putting that into practice will then remove some of the doubts. We got to remove the doubts in the process and enhance our success along the way. Sometimes we get flaws in our words. We don't believe the words we say, or we use the incorrect words, which is why he says the almost right word. Sometimes we put the almost right word in there. But if the flaws in the words will eventually outpicture as flaws in our life. So if your life's not working the way you want it to, look back at how you're describing it. Are you living in a place of distrust, even distrusting your own self? Are you operating from a place of disbelief? Are you hesitant when you move into an experience? Do you go full force into it? When the lightning bolt comes down, there's no delay. It's just kaboom, right? It goes right for it. Do you go toward your goal with that kind of energy? That's what we're talking about trying to do with our lives. We're trying to move away from not trusting these ideas. When we don't trust the ideas, it's not the fault of the law, and it's not your individualized fault. This is not, there was an old thing about science of mind. There was people say, oh, there's no shame in science of mind. But then they would say, well, what was in your consciousness? Right? This is not what I'm saying. As the reason it's science, too, it's a definition of how things work, and mind, how God works. But the other thing about science that's great about the title is it's experimentation. It's like the physicist, right, who's removing the extraneous things. If it's not working for us, it's not your consciousness. It's a signpost pointing to the next frontier. What do I need to remove? What's getting in the way? What limitations am I dealing with? Where's my belief systems? That's why we go sit with a practitioner to try and get that stuff out of us, because sometimes we can't see it for ourselves. This is why we live in a collective relational experience of life. It's not just about me. Nobody here did anything to get here by themselves. Everything takes place with someone else helping you along the way. There's no self-made anybody anywhere. We are community-made. We are collectively made. And so when we look at our challenges in life and we think, oh man, what was in my consciousness? Nothing. It's just you didn't express your journey with somebody else. You didn't hear the little whisper that came for you. You missed because you were so busy on the pathway of getting to the grocery store on time. Who knows what it was? But the opportunity to get back and to practice this stuff that we're talking about comes with recognizing that we are one mind in consciousness. One mind in consciousness. And there's life, there's power, there's action in that one mind. And as we believe it, when we come to that belief, then there's power. It becomes the reality. It is life. It is power. It is action as we come to recognize that we are one with it. Not always an easy thing to do. There's so much that's telling us that we're not, that we're less than. But we come here and remind ourselves that we are more than, that we are worthy and we are worth it. We are worth this experience. We are this miracle of God's, of universal stardust coming into expression. Anything that could take all the miracles that could happen for us to be here. I mean, just the whole thing that sperm found the egg. I mean, that's right there is crazy enough right there. That's talk about Vegas. That's a roll of the dice. And then here we are. What do we do with that miracle? we move into the successful experience of our life. We examine why we might be getting some poor results and why we're not working, and we don't give ourselves judgment about this. We just recognize that we need to maybe speak to ourselves in a different way. Use words that are very understandable, that we can accept to be the truth of our experience. Or maybe we want to be reasonable in how we speak to ourselves so that we can agree with the thoughts that we're having. Perhaps we want to be really inspirational in the words that we speak so that we can begin to listen and let the words soak in, get the feeling tone. And once the feeling tone ends, then we want to be light enough to break through the clouds of delight and see that experience happen in our life. Self-talk. How are we talking? What words are we using to describe ourselves? Are we using magnificent words to describe ourselves, or it's just little old me? Or is it big giant me? Big giant me. That's what we want. Christian de Quincey, in a lovely novel, he's usually a scientist, but he wrote this novel called Deep Spirit, which is a very fun book where a dolphin comes to life and talks to this guy. It's kind of like his version of Jonathan Livingston. And he says, the way we use words shows the way we use our minds. The way we use words shows the way we use our minds. Been working up to Emerson and Hopkins, and this will be Troward in our Science of Mind, 23 Science, Mind, and Me class. And I got to tell you, those guys, I think I've talked about this a little bit, those guys were so smart. And the language that they used, the words were incredible. No wonder they had such amazing demonstrations back in the early 1920s. In the late 1800s, because the language was so expressive and expansive. And now, I mean, our language is expressive, like 64 characters and 170 words or whatever it is, I don't know. Or you drop it in the chat GPT so it can explain it to you, which is kind of really helpful in some ways. But the point I'm making is we have kind of dumbed ourselves down a little bit in our search for convenience. And as we do that, I invite you to spend some time. We all got the smartphone. Download the worddictionary.com onto your phone. And every now and then when you're thinking about a word that you want to use for yourself, and if the word doesn't feel just right, drop the word into the thesaurus and look at the thesaurus and see what other words are there. And a word will show up that may feel a little more resonance, might have a little more vibe for you. And start using that word, and the feeling tone behind that word will add some power, and next thing you know, you're on your lightning bolt experience. We need to use these technologies that we have available to us to help our lives move forward, The way we use our words is the way we use our mind. The way we use our tools is the way we enhance our mind. Coming up in June, on Wednesdays, I'm going to be doing poetry as spiritual practice. And we used to do that on Tuesday mornings. And we're going to do it for the month of June on Wednesdays. And one of the things that happened during those several years of poetry or spiritual practice, we would have a short poem sometimes. And the way the poetry works is you read the poem one time and you see what's the meaning behind the poem. The story. And then the second time you read the poem, you kind of listen for a glimmer, a word that shines. And the third time, you contemplate the poem into what prayerful moment is bringing to you. And the fourth time you read the poem, you look for a piece of action that you're going to take. And we get these little short poems sometimes. And you think, look at this, 12 words. What the hell? What's going to happen here? Wow. Boom. The wisdom, the knowledge, the experience that comes out of these short little poems. And the same thing is with our words. And one of the words, like as. It is done unto you as you believe. What a word. As. Such a short word. Such great power. It's done unto you as you believe. So what do you believe in? Because that's what's going to happen to you, right? Or be. Just the idea of being. How can I be? When you truly be present, be aware, be alive. Short little word. Another one I like is let. let. Let is a big word. When we let the words we use impact our lives, impact our meaning, impact our feeling, big things can happen. The words set the mold. So let Spirit fill the mold that you fit, that you create. The mold that shapes your conditions, the mold that creates the experiences in our lives. Man, when I was a kid, we'd go down to Playa del Rey back when it was still a neighborhood and people were having the planes fly over and just dump ash on them, but they don't have that anymore because we recognize that planes shouldn't fly right over somebody's house directly after takeoff. But that was such a great beach to go to as a kid. My brother and I used to throw rocks up at the planes like we were going to hit them. But we'd also make these sand castles, drip castles. When you make the drip castle, you want the water in the moat there so you can drip around, right? But you don't want the water to, when the wave comes up, you don't want the water to go out of your moat. So you got to keep building the walls up because the wave would come and kind of erode the walls. You have to keep building the walls up. You have to be building a bigger container, a bigger mold, a bigger place for the water to exist. And Spirit is a fluid plastic idea beginning to fill your mold like the water would fill the moat. But if you don't create a big wall around it, the definition, the outline, the domain of your words, you will not have the experience. We do that. We create that experience. And then when we do that, we allow Spirit to fill the idea. See, we can create these ideas, but I use the word create, but really, it's not really creating anything. What we're really doing is I was using the sand to build a bigger mold. In truth, we don't create anything. Spirit does the creating. We do the using. Like when you plant a seed, you don't create the cucumber. You don't create the rose bush. You simply put the seed in the soil, and something called the law, an activity that is beyond our understanding. Well, okay, scientists can figure it out, but most of us are not that deep on that stuff, you know. There is a way to figure out how it's happening, but it's an amazing thing, and who really cares? You just want to turn the computer on and open up the program and then hit print. All the stuff that's happening in the background, you know, we use. And the same thing with Spirit. We use spiritual power. How do we decide to use that? What we do is what we plant, the law will then grow. See, Dr. Holmes says that our word is creative. Did I miss a quote? No. Yeah. Our word is creative, not because we will or wish it to be, but because this is the nature of our being. See, the nature of our being is to inform the law, to let things happen, but we have to set the stage for it to happen. We set the stage. Another word in that quote, our. Our word is created not because we will it or wish it to be, but because this is the nature of our being. Our being. Our being individually and our being collectively. Yeah, I don't dive so much into the political world or the world of effects too often, because I think we all have our journey that we need to experience in that, but my heart was sinking this week as I was reading something about the numbers of people that have died in the Middle East and the lopsidedness of it. And then it got me thinking about just the amount of war that is existing on our planet and how we become collectively comfortable with war. It reminded me of a Star Trek episode. I don't know if you remember this one, you Trekkies out there, the Taste of Armageddon. I had to write it down because Eminar 7, they go to, the Enterprise goes to Eminar 7, and there's another planet, Vindikar. And Eminar 7 and Vindikar have been at war for so long and so many generations, and they've advanced so much that they now have a computer program that fights the war for them. And so they come to the planet, and the Eminar folks say, don't come, you can't be in our orbit. And you know, Enterprise don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. So they went anyway, and while they were there, the computer decided that the Enterprise was part of the casualties that that day. And what people would do is the computer would say, 500 people on this side died and 500 people on that side died, and you'd have to walk into a machine and evaporate your life. You're dying, right? And Kirk's like, no, we're not doing that. So what they ended up doing, spoiler alert, ended up doing is they blow up the computer that was doing the thing, and now there's no more computer to decide the war. And now the two sides, if they want to have war, they actually have to go down and fight each other face to face. And they go, whoa, we don't want to do that. So they had peace talks, and there was no more war. We have become so collectively used to war that we're not available to face it, the pain of it, Once that planet had to face the pain of it, they actually sat down at the peace table and figured their stuff out. Collectively, we have allowed all kinds of things like that to happen. The diseases that we deal with, the way our planet is responding to us because of the way we have responded to our planet. Our word is creative because we will it and wish it to be, because it's the nature of our being. Do we want to continue to have a world that is infested with little natty ideas like fireflies all over the place, as fun as they were to collect and put in a jar, but they're a nuisance? Or do we want a world that is shifting and changing in a bolt of energy, of collective energy that we can all apply to solve some of the world's problems with some of the ways we describe things and some of the things and words that we use, and how used to the way things are we, that we're going to continue to let them be that way? You hear what I'm saying here? We have an amazing responsibility and a power within us to use to explore our imagination, our creativity, to dive into the feeling of love, and to express that idea of love through the words that are powerful enough to make a change. Something as simple as let. Let it happen. Let it happen. Don't let Kirk have to come down here and blow us up. So the idea here is to move from a bug-type life to a bolt experience, to a lightning experience, or as Elaine and I were talking about earlier, to lighten up. Lighten up, So keep planting the seeds. Keep planting the seeds into the divine soil that makes things new. Keep coming up with ideas that we can love, ideas that express love, that brings love to the world, love to humankind, love to all kind that is alive, including the rocks and the trees. It's all alive. And we get to make that shift by deciding to use powerful, descriptive words that are understandable, that are inspirational, that have feeling, that are reasonable, that we can agree upon, that we can settle into, that can free us from the bonds of our experiences so we can lift and soar into the high realms of conditions. We must also expect to transcend previous experiences. We must know that the divine will is set up for things to shift and change. Every day something new is happening. Every day a fresh start. Every day a restart. We can restart every day with new and great moments to receive a fuller awareness of what is ours to do, what is our next step to make. And sometimes it might seem a little superstitious to believe some of the things we believe, but it's not superstitious to believe that we're surrounded by a power greater than we are. Look around you. Everywhere you look, there's power greater than you are. You don't believe me? Stick your finger in a wall socket over there. Well, don't do that. But there is this greater power around us that receives the impress of our thoughts and reacts to those thoughts, to those words, and the beliefs behind the words. That's why we want to go to the thesaurus. Make sure you're getting the right word, not the almost right word, to create the experiences and the conditions in our lives that we want, not the experiences in our lives that we have to just deal with, we have to respond to and go, oh, well, there's that again. No. We don't have to live that experience. We can choose to have something different. But we need to accept that the status quo is not something we need to accept. It doesn't have to be that way, for ourselves or for humankind at all. In New Design for Living, really wonderful book from Holmes. He says that in our use of the science of mind, we must never feel that the last word has ever been spoken. No final word will ever be spoken. There's always a tomorrow. There's always an opportunity to redo, to reset, to move beyond this current experience so that we can have the lightning bolt experience and not the lightning bug. And so it is. I just love that affirmation. And that image is so pretty. I'm going to call out, before we do the affirmation, I'm going to call out Alex and thank Alex for shifting our graphics. And she's taken over our graphics. Aren't they absolutely lovely? Yeah. All right, here we go. The words I use light up the creative power of spirit, bringing to life the intentions of my heart, mind, and soul. How would you like to use that creative power this morning to light up your heart, your mind, and your soul? What intentions do you want to set for yourself? Bring that to your consciousness right now. Let's use the power of this collective energy that we have here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. We believe in this one power, this divine presence. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. And if you're in doubt about it, I hope you begin to believe more about it as we experience this more and more each week. There is something powerful happening here in this community. There's something powerful happening in the world. And that power begins at the core of our being. The creative spark that put life into us is that love, that divine presence, that infinite power that knows how to take the ideas that we plant, how to take the seeds that we plant, how to take the words that we use and create experiences for our lives that lift us up and bring us a sense of harmony and joy. United in this understanding, I speak this word of truth for each and every one of us, that we live prosperous experiences, that we live in an abundant universe, that we take advantage of the prosperity and abundance and bring into our situations healthier relationships, healed hearts, whole bodies, right actions, divine guidance, that we move forward through moments of grief and pain into the joy of love and remembrance, that we move beyond strife and strain into the space of strength and opportunity. Oh, divine love, oh, sweet presence, oh, infinite knowing of which we are all a part. I'm so grateful that I can have this moment of conscious awareness that I am surrounded by your presence. That your presence and my presence is one presence. That the eye with which God sees me is the eye with which I see God. My eye and God's eye are one. And it is from this oneness that I speak this word of truth in a deep space of gratitude, knowing that the words that we use, the ideas that we share, the conditions and experiences that we have flow from this presence into an infinite law that receives the impress of our thoughts and makes it the reality of our experience. So grateful to know this, to let it go, to let it be, as we affirm together. And so it is. Thanks, Cherie. Oh, you're back. Are you like on a busman's holiday today? This is cool. Yeah, I know. I love it. I love seeing you over here, and I'm glad to see you just doing all the things that you do, and it's great to have Dave here too. Those songs were fun. These are the ways we can support our spiritual community. We have the website where you can donate online. It's easy to text the word give to that phone number there, 805-600-5677. You can call the office. You can drop a check in through the mailbox. You can get on the Breeze and get the automatic deduction thing, which is really nice, especially if you use ACH as opposed to a credit card, because there are less fees on the ACH than on the credit card. All these kind of ways to give. We really appreciate how you're supporting our spiritual community as we continue to thrive and grow and think about maybe fresh carpet in the sanctuary. Okay. And then we have this wonderful abundance declaration that we say, this affirmation we say each week. And I know that we do it during the time of cash giving and money giving, but we also want to remind you that these words have power, and these words relate to every aspect of our lives. It's not just the good of financial prosperity for our center. It's your life being adjusted into a prosperous, harmonious experience. And there's this divine love, this divine power that sees and feels the intentions of your calendar events. Good stuff. Ooh, look at that. That's purty.
I am looking at the prosperity of this community flowing through us, through the prosperity of all our members. And I receive these gifts so joyfully on behalf of CSL Simi Valley, knowing that it goes through the community to do good work and grow this community, expanding the consciousness, not just of this community, but of the world. And so it is.
Want to turn the mic?
There we go. Thank you, Elaine, and thank you, Reverend Stephen, for that wonderful message. I hear lots of songs there, but God and I are one. Cherie, write that song. Write it. God and I are one. So this next song is called Touch the Sky, and it's from a Disney movie. I work with a lot of little people, and it's a wonderful song, but I'm going to need your help, guys. So repeat after me. Na-na-na-na. 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 Na-na-na. You got it. Sounds close enough. Okay, and we're going to do a shameless plug for Randy Jones. Randy Jones' band's playing at Chewy's today at 1 o'clock. So after you see Randy's band, you take an Uber over to Anagrin Brewery and you see my blues band at 4 o'clock.
That's right.
And it's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Here we go. Yeah.
Na
Lovely. Na 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 na. Okay, so we'll start again with the thank yous to anyone that has lost any lives through war. You know, I talked about war, but the Memorial Day holiday is to honor those fallen. And it wasn't until 1968 that it actually became an official recognized holiday. We had been doing it for years, but it wasn't until Johnson signed a 3-day holiday weekend thing. They moved it to the fourth Friday, and it became an official national holiday that started in Charleston, South Carolina, of all things, when 250 Union soldiers were buried in a common grave, and some enslaved people, unearthed those soldiers and put them in individualized graves in Charleston and decorated those graves. And that became the beginning of what became Decoration Day, which later became Memorial Day. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And also, I want to thank our online viewers and watchers. And I checked them out during parts of the service, and they had a very interesting point, and I like that. Addendum to the talk. Because lightning bolts could be kind of scary. Right? Maybe that kind of change is not something that you want. I get that. I want you to have power in your change, which is why I used the lightning bolt idea. But here's the thought they had. Maybe the fireflies, thank you, Rob, thank you, T. Michael Rambo, maybe the fireflies are guides helping us to get to our lightning bolt experience. Right? Yeah, I like that too. So I thought I would share that too. Yeah. See, I'm open to change. I got my lightning bolt boom idea. Was it fireflies are something worth following too? Yeah. Yeah. So, thank yous. Costa, lead service team, thank you. And for the coffee that I don't drink, but some of you do. He makes that for us, okay? Becca and Becky, thank you so much. The Double B team. Glenn, for your work, or whatever. Did you do any? You're on standby today. I don't see any green jelly bean buttons here. Standing by. Got it. Okay, and Olivia, solo today. Wonderful. Thank you for your work up in the booth. It's great to have you up there as well. Dorothy on the slides. Thank you so much for that. Dorothy making the slides. Pushing the slide button. Alex making the slides. Thank you for that as well. We got the Soul Purpose Band hanging out, looking good. Cherie Deeds, Steve Fowler, Randy Jones, Bob Townley, and then Dave joining the L's over there, the CSLs. All right, for the peace song at the end, because it's right into the month. Do the peace song. Tracy and Angel are back there with our Cosmic Kids. They're subbing or standing in as in control on that. Lane and Cheryl will be in the office after service. Thank you so much for that. Costa, Lena, and Ellen on fellowship today. Thank you, Ellen, for jumping in there. It's so good. And let's see, what else do I want to talk about? I have one other thing. Oh, yeah, my class coming up. 23 Science, Mind, and Me. We're going to have a lot of fun in this class. I've been. It's so great to visit these incredible writers, Emerson, Hopkins, Troward, just incredible stuff. And to see the source material that became the Science of Mind is a wonderful experience. So come join us in that experience. We're going to have a lot of fun updating some of it and figuring out our own kind of theology. You can do it on Tuesday nights at 7 or on Thursday mornings at 10. Not or, and on Thursday at 10. So you either pick Tuesday night or you pick Thursday morning to have the class. 5 weeks for and everything else you need to know about it is on the website. Just go to the website and click, boom, register now, okay? That's good for that. Elaine, would you like to come up and talk about what practitioner activities are going to be taking place after service?
After service, I'll be standing right over there under that exit sign if anyone wants a quick prayer. And we also have the prayer box out there on the table. You can fill out a little form, and they do go out to all the ministers and practitioners. We do pray throughout the week. That's done. And I invite you to give a spiritual mind treatment a try. I'll be happy to help you manifest your dream.
Thank you so much, Elaine. All right, let's all stand, do the closing benediction, and we shall sing. And here they are, words for you now. Wise words that say, I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. Thank you, everyone.
I don't remember what day it was, and I didn't notice what time it was. All I know is that I fell in love with you, and if all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. Oh, every day's a new day in love with you. With each day comes a new way of loving you. And every time I see your face, my mind starts to wonder. If all my dreams come true, I'll be spending time with you. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday. Oh yeah, but darling, not as much as tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's day means springtime's just a day away, day away. And keep it, we don't need you now. Be on your way. Thank the Lord for love like ours that grows ever stronger. I always will be true. I know you feel the same way too. I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Steve I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. I love you more today than yesterday, but only half as much as tomorrow. Every day's a new day. Every time I love ya. Every day's a new day. Every time I love you. Oh, oh, every day's a new day. Oh, how I love ya. Every day's a new day. Oh, how I love ya. I love you. Thank you, Dave. Alrighty, ready.
I was like, sorry I couldn't make it to rehearsal on Wednesday. I was coming up from Irvine. I was late. Yeah.
All right. We got money to count.
Yeah, right.